We're going to start recording. I want to put the headphones first. Yeah, can you switch it off? Yeah, so I'm going to start the recording. Continue with the limits. The 23rd sum. Limit of f of x. Okay, first of all, what is the function? F of x is given to be a 2x plus 3. A 2x plus 3 when x is lesser than or equal to 0. And a 3 into x plus 1 when x is greater than 0. அப்படி இதை பார்த்த உடனே I know that I have to come to 0 from the left and 0 from the right. Less than 0 ஒரு ஃபார்முலா இருக்குது, greater than 0 ஒரு ஃபார்முலா இருக்குன்னா இல்லை ஈக்குவல் டு பற்றி கவலைப்படாத. லெஸ் தேன் 0 greater than 0னா யூ கோட் கம் ஃப்ரம் த லெஃப்ட் அண்ட் கம் ஃப்ரம் த ரைட். அதுதானே லிமிட்ஸே. ஓகே, ஸோ 0வில் லெஃப்ட்லேருந்து வந்தால் இந்த இடம் ஒரு ஹெச் ஃபேக்டர் தானே. இட்ஸ் கோட் ஸ்டாப் யூ. திஸ் வில் பி மைனஸ் ஹெச் அண்ட் திஸ் வில் பி ப்ளஸ் ஹெச். நார்மலாக ஹெச் தான் இருக்கும். pi by 2 பார்த்தேன்னா coming from the left and coming from the right you wrote h and h because it was on the positive x-axis, but this is on the negative x-axis now minus h. So x itself is minus h for the left hand limit, x itself is plus h for the right hand limit, because this where x is, this is straightforward. Okay, it's not 1 minus. If you are approaching 1 from the left and 1 from the right, you become 1 minus h and 1 plus h. If you are approaching 2 from the left and 2 from the right, x will become 2 minus h and 2 plus h. If you are approaching 3 from the left and 3 from the right, become 3 minus h and 3 plus h. If you are approaching pi by 2 from the left and pi by 2 from the right, it will be pi by 2 minus h and pi by 2 plus h. But here you are approaching 0 from the left and 0 from the right. So x is equal to minus h and x is equal to plus h. So limit of left hand limit பண்ண போறேன். X tends to 0 from the left and limit of right hand limit. X tends to 0 from the right. 0 from the left na 0 minus and 0 plus refers to 0 from the left and 0 from the right. Correct? Less than 0 0 from the left na less than 0's formula, which is 2x plus 3. 0 from the right na greater than 0's formula, which is 3 into x plus 1. But x is not x, x is becoming minus 2h plus 3 for the left hand limit. Limit h tends to 0. And this is 3 into plus h plus 1, limit h tends to 0. h க்கு பதிலா 0 போட்டா it will be 3, h க்கு பதிலா 0 போட்டா 3. Left hand limit is equal to right hand limit, hence limit exists. Hence limit exists. And the limit is 3. அதுதான் இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன்லேயே சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்கேனே. ஒரு கிராஃப் எப்படி இருக்குன்னா இதில் லெஃப்ட்லேருந்து வந்தாலும் ரைட்லேருந்து வந்தாலும் ஒரே இடத்துல எஃப்எஃப்எக்ஸ் வேல்யூ கிடச்சுன்னா லிமிட் வில் எக்ஸிஸ்ட். கிராஃப் இஸ் கண்டினியூஸ்னு அர்த்தம். இந்த லிமிட் ஒரே இடத்துல இருக்குது, தே லேண்டிங் அப் இன் த சேம் லிமிட். புரியுதா? அப்போ த கிராஃப் லிமிட் எக்ஸிஸ்ட். ஓகே, ஸோ தென் லிமிட் இஸ் 3. ஸோ டன். நெக்ஸ்ட் அதே பார்ட் ஆஃப் த கொஷனில் செகண்ட் சப்டிவிஷன் லிமிட் ஆஃப் எஃப் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ் எக்ஸ்டென்ஸ் டு 1ன்னு கொடுத்துருக்கோம். எக்ஸ்டென்ஸ் டு 1, விச் மீன்ஸ் யூ கோன் அப்ரோச் 1 from the left and 1 from the right. X is equal to 1 minus h for the left limit and x is equal to 1 plus h for the right limit. அங்கேயே பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கீங்க, கவனி. எழுதியாச்சா? You are going to approach 1 from the left, x tends to 1 from the left, limit of x tends to 1 from the right. Less than 1 greater than 1 ஒரு ஃபார்முலா கிடையாது, because you have formula for greater than 0 which will apply for less than 1 also and greater than 1 also. Greater than 0 குள்ள ஒரே ஃபார்முலா தான் இருக்குது. there is no specific formula for less than 1 and greater than 1. there is only one formula for greater than 0, which is 3 into x plus 1. So here also is 3 into x plus 1. Here also 3 into x plus 1. You are not going to write x as x. You are going to write 1 minus h plus 1. This is 3 into 1 plus h plus 1. Correct? So this will be 3 into 2 minus h. This will be 3 into 2 plus h. Limit h tends to 0. Limit h tends to 0. Now the denominator is not there. Direct substitution, 6 is equal to 6. Hence limit exists. So limit is 6. In this limit exists and limit is 6. In this you put different formulas. 2x plus 3 for less than 0 and 3x. But still you got the answer to be 3 and 3. But that is a different limit. Yes, limit exists for both these conditions in this sum. Are you clear? Let's go to 24th question. Why we have to take 3x plus 1 both the cases? Because what you have is the formula for greater than 0, which is only one formula for greater than 0. And whether you come from 1 from the left or 1 from the right, it is still greater than 0. You can't put less than 0's formula. So that is why same formula in both the cases. Are you clear? If you take minus 1, then we have to take If the question is about -1, then we will take less than 0. Yeah, okay. So let's go to next sum. 24th question. Limit of f of x extends to 1. Where the function எப்படி இருக்குன்னு பார்க்கலாமா? f of x is equal to x square minus 1 when x is lesser than or equal to 1 and minus x square minus 1 when x is greater than 1. Sorry. The fact that there is 1 here shows that I am going to approach 1 from the left and 1 from the left and 1 from the right. So x is equal to 1 minus h and x is equal to 1 plus h. For the left hand limit you are going to do limit of f of x extends to 1 from the left. Limit of f of x extends to 1 from the right. You going 1 from the left means less than 1 formula, which is x square minus 1. 1 from the right means greater than 1 formula, which is minus x square minus 1. But x itself is 1 minus h the whole square minus 1 for the left limit, limit h tends to 0. Yeah, and x itself is minus of 1 plus h the whole square minus 1 for limit h tends to 0. H is tending 0, it will become 1 minus 1, the answer itself is 0. If h is tending to 0, it's minus 1 minus 1, the answer is minus 2. They both are not equal. So limit does not exist because left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. So limit does not exist. Are you clear? So can I go to next term? The 25th question. 25th question, what is the function like? F of x is equal to mod x by x. Sorry. The moment you write this, if you know relations and functions, you know it's a signum function. Mod x by x is a signum function where x is not equal to 0 and 0 when x is equal to 0. You know that you are going to approach 0 from the left and 0 from the right. When you approach 0 from the left, it will be minus h and it will be plus h. X is equal to minus h and x is equal to plus h. So then you go to limit of f of x extends to 0 from the left. Limit of f of x extends to 0 from the right. For the left and for the right, both the formulas mod x by x, because they have given not equal to 0, which means from the left also, from the right also, it is simply mod x by x. But you know that I am going to replace x as minus h. So minus h by minus h. Limit h tends to 0. Here also it is minus h plus h by plus h, right hand limit. Limit h tends to 0. This will be plus h by minus h, answer will be minus 1. Plus h by plus, answer will be plus 1. They are not the same. So left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. You know that for a signum function whose graph is like this, at 0 the graph is getting cut. This is the graph mod x, f of x is equal to mod x by x graph. It's not continuous. The limit does not exist at 0. If the question is about 1, if you approach from the left and from the right, you would have had answer as 1. But unfortunately the limit does not exist at 0. Can I go to next sum? 26th question. F of x is equal to x by mod x when x is not equal to 0 and a 0 when x is equal to 0. Okay, idum paatha signum function now. It's mod x by x and x by mod x are the same. So you are going to approach 0 from the, come on everybody, 0 from the left and 0 from the right, where x itself is minus h and x is equal to plus h. If to do the left hand limit, its limit of f of x extends to 0 from the left, the formula will be x by mod x only. Limit of f, right hand limit is limit of f of x extends to 0 from the right also is x by mod x only. Because x is not equal to 0 means left and right same formula. You write x as minus h by mod of minus h. Here it's x by mod of h. Limit h tends to 0 and limit h tends to 0. It's minus h by h, which is minus 1. It is h by h, the answer is 1. They are not equal, limit does not exist. Signum function, correct? Again at 0. So let's go to next sum. A limit of f of x at x tends to 5 is what you need to find. F of x itself is mod x minus 5. The formula itself is mod x minus 5. There is no denominator. Direct substitution, mod 5 minus 5, which is 5 minus 5, the answer is 0. It's a simple sum, right? I'll tell you from where the questions will come. Only from 28th the questions will come for the exam. 28th sum onwards. Till now nothing will come. I told you 22nd question they'll ask. I'll tell you 17th question they will ask 1 minus cos x is 2 sin square x by 2 or 1 plus cos x is 2 cos square x by 2. You know that using the formula that will come. So 17th will come, 22nd will come, and after that 28th will come. Other sums I am not saying, again similarly previous page if you see sum number 6 will come, sum number 10 will come. Sum number 6 and sum number 10. That doesn't mean others will not come, you should be prepared. With this you should try it many times. After 28 only all sums are important. Every sum is important. You can't actually. Okay, 28th sum. So f of x is equal to என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கான் a plus bx ஒரு formula when x is less than 1 அப்பனா left line வந்தா 1 க்கு left line வந்து இந்த formula 4 at x is equal to 1 at x is equal to 1 4 ஆவே இருக்கு. Okay, b minus ax when x is greater than 1. Okay, so you are going to approach, you know they are going to approach one from the left and one from the right. Yeah. Okay, so then this will be an h and h. Yeah. So x will be 1 minus h and x will be 1 plus h. So limit of f of x extends to 1 from the left and limit of f of x extends to 1 from the right. To know, I am going to tell you something new. Okay. Limit of, left hand limit is limit of f of x extends to 1 from the left should be equal to limit of f of x extends to 1 from the right if limit exists. Limit exists now, left limit should be equal to right limit. Should also be equal to f of 1 at that point. And the 1 in the 1 வந்து functionலயே போடலாம்.
Because 4 is equal to 1.
Should be equal. For limit exists, left hand limit should be equal to right hand limit. Should also be equal to at that point, அது நம்ம செக் பண்ணதில்லை இது வரைக்கும். பண்ண வேண்டாம், ஆனால் இப்போ இனிமேல் பண்ணணும். Should be equal to at that point which is f of 1. Limit of extends to left through the left hand limit, limit of f of x extends to 1 from the left. What is the formula for 1 from the left? It's a plus bx. A plus bx. But x itself is 1 minus h. A plus b into 1 minus h. Limit h tends to 0. So a plus b is the answer for this. Should be equal to this right hand limit. Limit of f of x extends to 1 from the right. 1 from the right, what is the formula? B minus ax. B minus ax. Where x is nothing but 1 plus h. Limit h tends to 0. H 0 now, b minus a is equal to, what is f of 1? F of 1, look at this. This is 4. At x is equal to 1, f of x itself is 4. So is equal to 4. So a plus b is equal to 4. B minus a is equal to, or a minus a plus b is equal to 4. 2b is equal to 8, b is equal to 4. Substituting back here, a is equal to 0. Thus a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 4. This is considering that this already left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. Limit exists. It is given in the question. They ask you unknown value a and b. It means limit already exists. You have to consider this statement, left limit is equal to right limit is equal to, at that point consider panni, you have to solve it. Consider panni, you have to do. Are you clear? You don't have to prove that. It's already given they are equal. Left hand limit is equal to right hand limit is equal to at that point. You are finding the value of a and b. Generally we will find left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. But in this sum, its limit already exists, you have to find unknown value a and b. So 29th question, limit of a1, a2, a3, b real numbers, f of x என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கான் is x minus a1, x minus a2, dot 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 x minus an, limit of x tends to a1, f of x, இதில் denominator இருக்கா? அப்போ denominator இல்லைன்னா direct substitution. x க்கு பதிலா a1 போடு. a1 minus a1 itself will become 0 and a multiplication of all these terms will become just a1 minus an, but still the answer will just be 0. First part is over. Next, limit of f of x, x is tending to a. अपना इधर ना हो a minus a1, a minus a2, dot 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 a minus an, and that will be the limit. Can I go to next sum? 30th question. If f of x is equal to mod x plus 1 if x is less than 0 and a 0 when x is equal to 0 and a mod x minus 1 when x is greater than 0 அப்படி இருக்கு. ஓகே, இப்படி சம் இருக்கு. ஓகே, இது எப்படி பண்ண போகிறோம் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, x is less than 0 means minus h, x is greater than 0 plus h. So x is equal to minus h and x is equal to plus h. Okay, left hand limit. Okay, it's already given that. Okay, no, we have to prove that's continuous. Left hand limit of f of x extends to 0 from the left. Limit of f of x extends to 0 from the right. 0 from the left, what is the formula?
Mod x plus 1.
0 from the right?
Mod x minus 1.
You know, left hand limit is minus h plus 1, limit h tends to 0. So answer is just 1. In this it's, what is it? X is equal to plus h. So plus h minus 1, plus h plus 1, limit h tends to 0. The answer is minus 1. So left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. Therefore at 0 the limit does not, at 0, at x is equal to 0, limit does not exist. Okay, now the question is not over. They are also asking you to find for limit f extends to a. Limit f of x extends to some random a. Okay, what value does a have? I'll tell you, I'll teach you. X is some random, let's assume that a is on the positive x axis. Assuming that a is on some random positive x axis, you're going to approach a from the left and a from the right, which is anyway greater than 0's formula. So whether a from the left or a from the right, you should do mod x minus 1. So a from the mod x minus 1, and limit of f of x extending to a from the right also is mod x minus 1. Same formula, right? Yeah?
Yes.
So the same formula has to be applied because both of the cases are greater than 0's cases, where they are approaching a from the left and a from the right, because I have assumed it as in positive x axis. Are you clear? So then what is it? It is x is equal to plus h. Okay, in this case it will be, in that case x will be a minus h, and the right side x will be a plus h. So mod of a minus h minus 1 is mod of a plus h minus 1. Limit h tends to 0 is a minus 1. Limit h tends to 0 is a minus 1. So left hand limit is equal to right hand limit for any other point other than 0. Other than 0, every other point that you are assuming is limit exists, but for 0. So therefore limit exists. Limit exists for all x is an element of real number other than 0. Purjada? Can I go to next sum? So let's go to next sum, which is the 31st question. Okay, limit of f of x minus 2 by x square minus 1 is equal to pi. Limit extends to 1. Okay, they are asking what is f of x. First of all, to find f of x, just cross multiply. F of x minus 2 is equal to pi into x square minus 1. F of x therefore is pi into x square minus 1 plus 2. Is there a denominator here? No, you got a new formula. Now they are asking limit of f of x extending to 1. Is there a denominator? No. So direct substitution, pi into 1 minus 1 plus 2, this is 0 plus 2, so answer is just 2. When there is no denominator, you can directly substitute. If the teacher wants a graph, then you should do 1 from the left and 1 from the right. X is equal to 1 minus h and x is equal to 1 plus h. So you have to do limit of f of x extending to 1 from the left. In that case, left and right the same form. There is no specific formula for 1 from the left and 1 from the right. So there is no need to do a graph for this. You understand? There is no necessity. Only when they have less than, greater than, you understand we have to do a graph. Your teachers kept doing graph for even normal limit sum. Why should you do that?
No graph.
No graph. Are you clear?
Not even one sum I will not do the graph.
But are you clear? This and all you have to do graph. You have to do graph. So I've finished the recording. So this exercise is completely over till here. Okay, now
30 seconds.
30 second, no, not done, no?
Yeah,
Okay, 30-second sum. The 30-second sum, f of x is equal to mx square plus n when x is less than 0 and nx plus m when x is lying between 0 and 1, both of them inclusive, and nx cube plus m when x is greater than 1. இப்படி பார்த்த உடனே இல்லை எனக்கு என்ன திரும்ப தோணும், இது நம்பர் லைன் போட்டுப்பேன். இங்கே 0 இருக்கு, இங்கே 1 இருக்கு. Okay, when x is less than 0 ஒரு ஃபார்முலா இருக்கு, அதனால லெஃப்ட்லேருந்து வரேன், ரைட்லேருந்து வரேன். அப்புறம் 1க்கு லெஃப்ட்லேருந்து ஒரு ஃபார்முலா இருக்குது, ரைட்லேருந்து இருக்குது. ஸோ 1 approach from the left and 1 approach from the right. Therefore, I decide I am going to put a number line where you will have a 0 and you will have a 1 where I'll put 0 from the left and 0 from the right and 1 from the left and 1 from the right. Because ஒன்னொன்றுக்கு ஒரு condition கொடுத்திருக்கிறதுனால. And x itself, you know, it's minus h and plus h, and this is 1 minus, x is equal to 1 minus h and x is equal to 1 plus h for left hand limit of this and right hand limit of 1. And similarly, if left hand and right hand of this will be x is equal to minus h and x is equal to plus h. I'm going to do this as two different sums. புரியுதா? So, let's approach limit of left hand limit of f of x, x tends to 0 from the left. Less than 0's formula is mx square plus n. Either limit of f of x, x tends to 0 from the right. 0 from the right formula is this nx plus m. Correct? Either mx plus n. Okay, இப்போ x க்கு பதிலா என்ன போடலாம்? Minus h. m into minus h the whole square plus n, limit h tends to 0 is just n. இங்க n into h plus m, limit h tends to 0 is just m. But if limit exists, n has to become equal to m. The question unknown values are given. It means limit already exists. I'll tell you what. In my unknown value, find m and n question irundale, you should assume that they already given that limit exists. So n has to be equal to m. So come to this. Okay. h 0 போட்டினா இது 0 ஆயிடும், n தான வருது. ஓகே ஓகே, ஏதோ தப்பு பண்ணிருக்கேன். லிமிட்ஸ் கரெக்டா போடு. nx³ plus m, nx³ nx square nx plus m. Yeah, x க்கு பதிலா என்ன போட்டிருக்கேன்? touch n into h plus m. So if I put, I'll get m only, no? Correct? Okay, so now I'll go to this. I'll approach one from the left and one from the right. Limit of f of x, x approaching 1 from the left. What is less than 1's formula? nx plus m. Limit of f of x extending to 1 from the right. What is greater than 1's formula? nx³ plus m. Okay, instead of x you will write 1 minus h. 1 minus h plus m. Limit h tends to, illi direct substitution kuda podlam because denominator illa. But if teachers insist on h, you have to write it like this. H tends to 0. So then this will become, h will become 0, n plus m. If you write here, limit h tends to 0, n into 1 plus h the whole cube plus m, h tends to 0 will be n plus m. N is equal to m and n plus m is equal to n plus m shows that n and m can be any real number. Any equal, n and m can be any equal real number. Correct? And for all of these values, limit definitely exists. அவனே கொடுத்துறான். It exists for what value of m and n? For every value of m and n. Correct? Where m is equal to n, limit exists. Are you clear?
Yes.
But that is about 0 only I have done. I have done one also. I have done everything in one shot. Do you understand?
Because
Yeah.
n and m are the
For
same.
this the limit is n is equal to m. For this the limit is n plus m is equal to n plus m, which means n is also equal to m. N plus m is also, it can be any two equal real numbers. Are you clear?
Yes.
So that completes this exercise.